Okay, so for the first non-calculator question, since it's in factored form, you can take the factors and you can equal them to 0 and solve for x. So when we do that, we get that x equals 4 and x equals -2. So we know that it has to cross the x-axis in two places, at 4 and -2. So that eliminates answer choice B. Answer choice A has the zeros -2 and 4. Answer choice C does not, and answer choice D does not. So all we had to do was find our zeros. So that's why it's answer choice A. Okay, for question 2, we need to get y by itself. So to get y by itself, we first subtract the 2x. And then you have to divide by a negative. And with inequalities, anytime you divide by a negative, the inequality symbol switches. So it becomes y is greater than. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. So we know our y-intercept is -4. So in graph A, our y-intercept is 4. So we know that's not it. Same with B. Those both have a y-intercept of +4. C and D, we can't see the y-intercepts, but if we imagine extending the line, we could see that it would cross at a negative value. So then we just have to look at the shading. So greater than would be above the line, which is answer choice D. Okay, question 3, which expression is equivalent? So you have two binomials. So you either use the distributive property, or if you like the box method, you can use the box. So we put x and 2, 3x and -3. We're multiplying, so we get 3x squared, 6x, -3x, and -6. And then we combine our like terms. So we have 3x squared, 6x minus 3x is positive 3x, minus 6. Okay, question 4 says a line that passes through this point. So anytime they give you a point, they're giving you an x and a y. And it's parallel to this line. So parallel means the lines have the same slope. So we know our new line will have a slope of 4. And it has to go through 1, 6. So we plug in to y equals mx plus b. We know y is 6, m is 4, x is 1, and we need to solve for b. So we subtract 4 from both sides, so we get 2 is equal to b. Okay, number 5, where it says, where is f of x less than or equal to g of x? So first, find when x is 1. So when x is 1, f of x, we plug in 1. So 2 to the first is 2 times 1/2 is 1. And then you plug in 1 for g of x. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So you can see that f of x is less than or equal to g of x, but it wants the biggest value. So I would just go ahead and jump around a little bit. So let's try x being 4. And if it turns out the f of x is bigger, then we'll go back and try the other ones. Okay, so 2 to the 4th means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. Half of 16 is 8. G of x, 5 times 4, 20. Plus 2 is 22. So f of x is still smaller. Okay, so now let's jump to x being 6. Okay, so 2 to the 6th power. So that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, and so remember you're doing it without a calculator, so you can write out your work. But if you do 2 times 2 times 2, you get 8. And then if you do the other 3 2s, you get 8. And 8 times 8 is 64. And then you take half of 64, which is 32. And then we do g of x. So 5 times 6 is 30 plus 2 is 32. So there's where they're equal. So if I try the next one up, 7, okay, 2 to the 6th, remember, was 64. So 2 to the 7th is 1 more 2. So 64 times 2 is 128, but half of that is 64. And then I do 5 times 7, 35 plus 2, so 37. So now f of x is bigger, so the largest integer where f of x was less than or equal to g of x was 6.